life, give 'em con. Ooh, shining like diamonds, you stun. That's right. Stack your coins up in the mornings.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Khaos Talks, and I'm here literally with Charlie Xile. You just got off the stage. Yeah. It was on fire. I didn't know you had all of this body. It's really cold in New York right now, so I just want to ask you, how are you feeling and what's going on?
Well, I mean, I feel good. I have, kind of a promiscuous outfit on underneath this. However, I wanted to, not even hide her, but just, close her up a little bit. I gave it to them on stage because that was needed. Yeah. But as far as like walking around like that, no, ma'am. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we can still be sexualized and sexual, but I still want to be classy.
All right, no, you can be classy, nasty, but trashy. Barking me. So I seen this video. I follow Tokyo Styles, and she had a video, and she was just doing what she normally do, flip her hair and all of that. And she had this song, and it was like, pussy, cunt, give up pussy, cunt, what, gussy, cunt, what you giving? And I'm like, damn, what song is that? So I went to the song, and I downloaded it, and I loved it, and I fell in love with the EP that you put out, Bad Bitch. And I was like, yo, this is really, really good. So I want to know a little bit about specifically that song, because that song made me feel good about who I am as a gay male. Pussy cunt, it sounds very much so like softer cunt in the ballroom scene, but I just identify with it. And I want to know, what made you do that? Can we talk?
Of course.
Okay.
Let's go. So, in describing Pussy Cunt is a song about one, being feminine, whether you are a man or a woman, and owning that shit, like having confidence in it. Because for so long, since the beginning of time, feminism has always been put down, right? It's not the focal point of what's considered the best, which is masculinity, or the strongest, which is masculinity. But feminism has strength in it, and I feel like gay men being feminine, that's so much strength, that's so much creativity, that's so much power, that it's just so much beauty in that. And that's what Pussy Cunt is about, right? To be pussy means to be pussy, girl. Like, I'm feminine, I'm confident, I'm sissy, like, and then to be cunt is like, girl, I'm feminine, I'm pussy, but girl, I can give it to you, right? I can cut you off if you be disrespectful, or I can come into the room and all eyes on me, but still kind of maintain a humbleness about myself. So that's what Pussy Cunt is. And Lingo, the EP, is like more so the words and slang of the gay community. Yeah. What it means to be a butch queen, or what it means to be a sissy, or even a fag, or even, femme. All these words that we have in our community, that's what Lingo really talks about.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, with the Lingo, it's always no fats, no femmes, right? Yeah. And so I think that you empowered a lot of people who are feminine with Pussy Cunt, because that's the song. When I go to the club, I'm an MC, obviously, right? Yeah. I love to get ready to music, and that song made me feel like, bitch, okay, this one was for me. This one was for me. But there was a quote that you had in that song, and you talked about, and I don't have it verbatim, but you just basically said that we're not strange, we're not weird, we are unique and we're powerful. Can you tell me about that quote that you had in that song? Like, what was that about? Because your voice was like literally trembling. It was so powerful, and I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the quote says, for those of you who do not know, to be queer is not to be strange or odd, but to be same gender loving and beautiful. That's not what it is, but I just, summed it up. And what that means is, I feel like when a lot of people don't understand what it means to be gay or to be queer, they see it as being strange or odd. But don't categorize me as being strange or odd because you don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Get to understand it. And I do respect a lot of heterosexuals, people who identify as other categories across the board, that try to understand or look to understand homosexuality because it's something to do. Like, it's not going anywhere. So that quote is just saying, like, we're here to stay. And if you don't understand us, get to understand us, because you're gonna be still be confused when we're soaring to the top. Because and I know both, being gay today is in. This is not the 60s and the 70s where we were like, kind of put down and kind of pushed in the shadows, but what?
No, I'm saying like that's how it was. Like,
yeah. Okay, I'm like, now you tell me shit on the interview, girl. Y'all supposed to be talking. But now is the time to be gay. So that's what the song's about. Like, just understand, like, get to understand us, because we're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And I think that right now it is a time to be gay. It is very in, and we have a lot of artists right now. And I think that something that you have is like very, very in your own lane. A lot of times we think like it's only room for one person, and that's not the case at all. I'm a person that enjoys lyrics. I love to listen and what you're saying. Now you went to Morehouse, right?
Yeah.
And he from Chicago, Midwest, and what's up? I read an article about you, and you talked about just kind of being more, basically flamboyant at Morehouse, but then you kind of like toned it down as your years went on. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I feel like, in the words of RuPaul, like he would show up to like interviews and he'd be like, "Why aren't you in drag?" And RuPaul would be like, "Well, y'all not paying me." And what I think people have to understand is like, for me, feminism, or not even feminism, but Charlie Xile is.
And I want to be very specific. When I say like dressed up, like the way that you were coming in as a freshman, tell them what you had on so they can know what you stopped.
So I mean, I had full face. I had platforms. I had like skinny jeans. You know, I gave it to them.
You did.
However, for me, as you get older, you mature and you realize what is more important than other. And I'm not saying that being myself is not really important. What I'm saying is that that person that I was giving was more so a character, right? And that's Charlie Xile, the character. But Charlie was more so there to get an education, major in psychology, not there to prove to y'all that I could be feminine and be a bad bitch. Because I did that already. So like, what's next? And I feel like when people be like, well, you should have kept doing it because you're knocking down barriers. Well, that's not the case. The case is that I gave it to them and I'm evolving, right? You don't keep doing the same thing over and over again expecting to get different results. You change, you know what I'm saying? That's insanity. So when I change, what people gotta understand though is also like, you gotta be a chameleon in different environments, right? You gotta be able to walk into the room and not necessarily blend in, but know how to work it until you get to that source of power. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish at Morehouse that being so feminine and bold is what I couldn't accomplish. But once I did accomplish it, I came back, and that's why I'm still Charlie Xile today. He hasn't left, but he's in a different setting. He's in a different involvement. So
which leads me to my next question, and thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. But you know what? We're going to talk. Okay. We on Slave TV. You already know what the bop is, right? All right, cool. So I've been listening to your music. I study it. I like it a lot. I noticed that in 2020, you dropped the EP. In 2021, it was like, where's Charlie? Where's Charlie? Yeah. So I think your next album, shout out to me, your next album should be Where's Charlie? But what happened in 2021 and during the pandemic? Because it was like, your Instagram, I follow you, your Instagram post was like, we haven't seen you, where are you? And now you're here in New York, we're happy about that, but where you been at? What's up? What you giving?
So as far as the pandemic, it didn't like mess up anything. Like I feel like the pandemic was the pandemic, right? I just felt like it was what I was going through. Like I was more so battling myself about how I wanted to be represented, who I wanted to be. And I feel like I'm an overthinker, you know? I feel like somebody told me that like, somebody told me that like, you can't overthink, but just do it. Just have fun, you know? And I think for so long, I've been like battling, like, it has to be perfect, it has to be this. And that's where that time has gone, trying to accomplish perfection. But my accomplishment of perfection is not putting anything out there until I feel like it is perfect. And that's that's part of a failure, because it's like, you're on a forever battle.
What's next for you?
So I think, and that's funny that you said that. Not funny, but it's like it's in correlation to where I'm going. So where I'm going is just showing the real Charlie, like outside of like the platforms, the makeup, the attitude, right? Yeah. Like the real Charlie, and I feel like the real Charlie really wants the world to know that I'm gay, I'm black, and I'm here to stay. Okay. More so that, you know, I'm femme and I'm cunt, and I want to give you that confidence to be yourself. He's still there, but I really want to dig into the childhood Charlie, how I got to where I am today. And that's my next step.
So we can expect like an Aunt Dot type of song where you really just rapping about a story.
Well,
type
I'm really
of,
just giving you a story.
Y'all, this is Slay TV. I'm Khaos Talks. Me and Charlie gonna talk some more because we have talked a lot. And yeah, he just got off the stage. What about the body?
What about the body?
What do you eat? The people want to know real quick because we about to get back out there. You know what I'm saying? What do you eat? Salad, like shawty. Hey, what you eat?
I mean,
What you eating?
I love fish.
You a
I love
pescatarian.
shrimp. I love beef, pork.
All right. Thank y'all for checking us out. This Slay TV. Subscribe. This Khaos.